Hello, my friend. I hope you are good. So, in the last video, we have discussed about something called as being objective, rather being ruthlessly objective about yourself. So, many of people later on messaged me like, yeah, that sounds good, but some points were there like which just went off our head, and we were not able to grasp the meaning of those stuff. So today I would like to address those things, and also today we will look at the another aspect of what I used to mean by that particular statement that had been given in the previous lines that we read. So today also we are going to read one particular stance of this particular cool book, and then I'll elaborate on it. So just to give a background before reading the lines, this topic deals with finding the optimal balance of thinking and emotion. Okay, many times it happens like whenever we have to take certain tough decisions in our life, we rather what we rather do is we tend to believe or trust more on our emotions rather than the thinking part. We say like, yeah, in a moment of it, we commit to something, to someone or some act, and rather what happens later on is that we are not at par in executing those promises. So, what is good to be done in such situations is that if you want to like make some commitment to your career, your relations with other people, your friendships, your whatever it may be, finances, investments, what you need to generally do is not go with the flow of your emotion. You have to uh, take a step back, analyze the situation, and don't just take any decision in hurry. Basically that is what I mean to say by these things. So let me give you a brief overview of what it is written is we must consider our actions beforehand. Like before acting, we must always think, as the elder suggests, like think before you act, and don't act if you have not thought of any outcomes that could be produced by acting or behaving in certain way. So that is what we mean by that. Then the next is what is we bring as much thinking as possible to a situation before we make a decision. Okay, we need to think a lot. Okay, as much as possible before we make any decision. You may take anything in that, any kind of decision. You mean to say like your career, your investments, your education, your relations with other people, also your relationships. I know a lot of people will, yeah, I think a few messages came where they were asking like, yeah, I have suffered from heartbreaks a lot of time. How do we objectively analyze and assess that particular situation? And I was like, oh yeah, i I'll get back to that answer somewhere later. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm getting a lot of messages today. So then next, but once we decide what to do, okay, this is before taking this decision. What we have to do, we have to think a lot upon it, and then once we decide at what we have to do, then we loosen the reins and enter action with boldness and a spirit of adventure. Cool, that's a cool line. So rather, you have seen a lot of people. I'm not sure about your experiences, but I have seen many people like who say like, yeah, I want to do this, I will do that, I will be this, I will be that, and after 6 months I see that no, there is no progress in that direction of people. So it happens, we eventually commit to something but we don't deliver. So that is basic what we say, human nature that we have, like when we have taken decision upon something that we have not thought upon. So that is why it is important, like once you have thought enough of a decision, and after that you have decided that you will be going to do this thing for this certain amount of time in your future, then you don't need to stop. Then you need not listen anybody in your family, anybody in your friends, whether it is right or wrong, until you have thought enough of it. Okay, thought in the sense like thinking about all the pros and cons, the advantages, disadvantages, the bad things, the good things about whatever you want to do. And then only you see, after like, oh man, this thing is yeah. And after you have decided it thoroughly, you oh my god, so what is this? After I say, after you have decided to do anything, you just go in a full speed in achieving those things. Like don't even stop. Like just as the flaps of a horse, they have, like once it have its direction, it just looks nowhere and it will just run in the same direction at its flap are. So that is what you need to do. Just before making those flaps, you have to think, sit quietly, think about everything, and then move in that direction. Okay, so that is what basically it means. Okay, and also the next thing is, instead of being slave to this energy we mean to see the emotional energy that you rely much upon. Instead of being slave to that energy, we channel it. We channel it in what terms? We channel it in terms of ignoring the other people once we have our path set. Many a times it happens, like some students think like, yeah, I want to pursue music, I want to pursue some field in art, in acting and all this stuff, and then their parents come when they are after when children want to decide their career, their parents have a lot of stake, and also the other family members might have a lot of stake in that particular decisions. So in that moment, like you don't have much control on that situation. Okay, you basically need to bend in the way that your elders think of. And later on, once you get ahead in life, they say that you are not at par as we thought as you could be. But they don't know what was there in your mind when you were in your 12th standard, in your graduation phase. Okay, so that is why it is important, like you need to have confidence on your own decisions before others come into play. Okay, if you are not sure of what you want to do, nobody else is going to believe that thing. And one more point here to keep is, like, if I may share a story of one of my friend. Like, he comes from a very humble background. I One day we were just sitting, and like as we now are like all the software engineer stuff, going in huge buildings these days. No one knows where other people come from. Like most of the people are unknown, just the people you know in your office, right? The IT Parsabi. So one day we were discussing about what we have done, like in our college days, in our education, in our past few years, that led us up to this particular institute where we are working. I mean, not institute, the organization that we are working. So he shared me, like, his past, like, was very humble. He came from very family of low income. Then only his father was working. He has two more brothers. And he used to drive, I think, about 50 kilometers from his home each day and back again to reach to his college. And he used to work part-time jobs for completing his education. Like, he used to work in a clothes shop. He was folding all the clothes. Then he used to work in, I don't know if I should rather say it, but he used to work on stalls, the food stalls that are outside over there. Again, he has done a lot of work, manual labor work, just to complete his education. And the way why I am so proud of him today is that, like, whatever the situation may be, but he didn't care about the situation he was in, because he knew the decision that he have taken upon to educate himself in the direction that he want to go in his future life, that was very clear in his mind, and that eventually led us to him getting a good job with a good income. Also the work is great, right? So this is what I mean to say, like even if a lot of situations are not as per the so to say what we say uh, fruitful conditions, there is nobody going to stop you from growing the fruits in your own backyard. That's just a metaphor, I guess. Bad joke. But yeah, today, like you see, he has like done what he thought, and nobody stopped him. Even not the situations, not the like the what we say, the poverty that he was in that particular area, the village he comes from, not even nothing stopped him. And as a matter of fact, he owns much expensive stuff that than I have. So I'm pretty jealous of him, you know. So like that's a moment of pride that we see in like I see, I feel when I look at him. So cheers to that, mate. And I hope I have made the thing clear to you guys, like what I mean by like thinking about in depth before taking any action. And once you have taken a decision, then hearing to no one else regarding the good things and bad things about your decision, and then just do in accomplish do things that would make you accomplish those stuff. So yeah, I hope today's message is clear rather than the previous one. So cheers for the new what we say new thought process maybe. And like here on, I would expect you guys to do that stuff, I mean the thinking stuff before taking any decision, and then like go full on in executing that whatever it may be. So until next time, bye.